Hi, my name's Chloe Duff. I'm from the UK, and I'll just briefly explain my background and why I think I'm here. Sorry, this is slipping. Is that? Okay. Okay, thank you. So I was a student at a democratic school in England from 1995 until 2000. And when I left school, I did lots of other things, but got back involved in democratic education and this movement in 2008. I worked as a staff member at a democratic school, then organised the IDEC at UDEC conference in England in 2011 and joined the UDEC Council. And now I'm working as the coordinator of UDEC. Before I start, I'd like to thank Marco, I don't know where he is, and all the other people who've organised this event, and want to thank them for all their hard work. I find it amazing to be part of such a unique and special gathering of people. And last time IDEC and UDEC joined forces, I was organising it, so I didn't get to participate. So it's really nice for me to be on this side of things. I feel a huge sense of privilege to be able to spend time and share with all of these amazing people from all over the world, so thank you. So for all of you who don't know, UDEC is the European Democratic Education Community. We're a democratically run European NGO working to support and promote democratic education in Europe. Currently, it is not possible for democratic education to exist easily in most European countries, and it is certainly not possible for democratic schools to exist in most countries in Europe and have state funding. But despite the challenges people face starting and keeping democratic schools open in Europe, there is a growing number of schools, startup groups, forming in countries all over Europe, and people are working tirelessly to create more. I could tell you more about the individual schools and regional activities in Europe, but I think you would be better speaking to the people from the countries where the activities and projects are happening to get a real insight into what they're doing. And there is so much going on. I have a short time and I wouldn't want to miss people out. But there are amazing things going on, so I'd urge you to, if you haven't already, go and speak to the people and find out more about it. I've been thinking a lot recently about the bigger picture and how everything we do relates to the current political climate in Europe and beyond. The current political climate is breeding attitudes of xenophobia, mistrust and fear, which in turn seem to be causing a growing acceptance and tolerance of racism, prejudice and hate. We are all aware of the current refugee crisis in Europe, which is heavily contributing to this. The fear of something different seems to be replacing the natural intrigue and curiosity of things we don't understand, whether it be culture, religion, a different class, or whatever, many other things. In my mind, we are at a crucial point in time when now more than ever, we need to create communities and schools based on the principles of respect, equality, and since learning so much from Husto and Anna Iris over the past years, I realise the importance of love in this equation. I believe that this change can and should begin in schools so that everybody has the opportunity to have a real experience of these things, which they can then take out into the world with them. I now want to explain some observations and thoughts I have had and hopefully open up an ongoing dialogue and exchange with people after this so that we can work together to create a better future. I've been thinking recently about the importance of looking inwards at ourselves and our communities, and at the same time openly looking outwards at what is going on and all the things we can learn from each other. When taking a look inwards at our democratic education communities, I have experienced some things which I feel we need to address as a community. Sometimes these things have made me feel uncomfortable. I think that often when you are part of a movement that is promoting equality and respect, that it is easy to take for granted the fact that we are respectful, not prejudiced. And so I feel we really need to check in with ourselves and look really honestly at what we are doing, making sure we do truly have healthy and inclusive communities so that we really can create positive change. One thing I really feel we need to look into more and try and find solutions for is that most of our schools have to be private schools, therefore creating an instant inclusion from people from less privileged backgrounds. This is not an easy problem to solve, but in my mind, it is one of the most important things we should be looking at and finding solutions for. Looking outside of our schools and into the wider democratic education community, I find it interesting that when you look back over the years of these conferences and gatherings, there is a clear dominance of one group that we always go to represent and present the movement to the outside world. I don't feel this group is truly representative of the people involved in this movement, or the values and principles that we're trying to promote. This group is older men, and mostly white older men. I have a huge amount of respect for the people from this group, so this is not to take away from what they have to offer. They have taught me a lot over the years, but I feel there are many other people from outside of this group who have much to offer and they do not seem to be asked to represent. I would love to see more children and women and people from other backgrounds presenting at our events and being asked to do keynote speeches. But this is why I think these gatherings are so amazing, because we can come together to learn, share, and actually we do have the freedom to support and address sometimes uncomfortable truths and work on ways to make them better. So now I want to look into the future, and I'm not under any illusion that I have all the answers, if any, but really I have a lot of questions and I know what I want. I want to find a way to make education based on respect and equality freely available to everybody, regardless of their social background or standing. I work a lot with children and young people with mental health problems, behavioural problems and learning difficulties, and children from underprivileged backgrounds in the UK, which is separate from the work I do with UDEC. So I'm really interested in trying to find ways to make sure these children will eventually be able to access and fully participate in democratic schools. I want to acknowledge that changing and improving the education system is a huge challenge, and it can be frustrating and it is difficult. I want to thank everybody who is already working so hard to make this type of education a reality for so many children. I want to give thanks for events like these, which provide us with the space to make connections, reduce isolation, inspire and support. And from the European perspective, this has been an amazing opportunity for us to learn from all the incredible things going on outside of Europe. And through this sharing, I think we can learn a lot to help us make democratic education more inclusive in Europe. So that's it. I really just want to ask everybody what we can do and start talking with you and try and find solutions for these problems. So thank you.
Hey, thanks a lot. Is there any questions you would like to ask at this point?
I will come definitely for the IDEC, maybe before.
Yeah, I heard that the IDEC conference is in Tel Aviv next year. That's correct, yeah. So you should put that on your calendar anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else? Go ahead.
Grey-haired, white, old men over the age of 150 should just refuse to come to events like this?
No, I don't think you should refuse to come to events, because I think you have a huge amount to contribute, but it's equal to the other people. I know. Yeah.
What should you say? No?
No, I think you should still speak, and I don't think it's the fault of you old white-haired men. I think it's something that all of us as organisers and participants can do something about ourselves.
Excellent. Any more questions? Okay.
Cool.
Hey, thanks a lot.